Michael Turner was 38 years old when he disappeared. He lived alone in a small cabin deep in the forests of northern Montana. Michael wasn't a criminal. He wasn't running from anyone. In fact, most people described him as quiet and extremely intelligent. Michael worked as a freelance sound engineer. His job was unusual. He traveled to remote places to record natural sounds: the wind, the forest, animals in the distance. He believed that nature had its own hidden language. But in October of 2019, something happened during one of his recording trips. Something that would become the last trace of Michael Turner. Michael had rented a small wooden cabin nearly 20 miles away from the nearest town. The location was perfect for recording. No roads, no people, just endless forest. For 3 days, everything seemed normal. Michael sent a few messages to a friend saying the recordings were going well. But on the fourth night, things changed. At around 2 in the morning, Michael turned on one of his high-sensitivity microphones. He later wrote in his notebook that he had heard something unusual outside. At first, he believed it was an animal, maybe a deer, maybe a wolf. But the sound didn't move like an animal. It sounded slow, heavy, and strangely rhythmic, almost like footsteps, very large footsteps. Michael left the microphone recording through the night. The next morning, he listened back to the audio. At first, there was nothing, just wind moving through the trees. Then, at exactly 2:43 a.m., something appeared in the recording. A low sound, almost like breathing. Slow, deep, and incredibly close to the microphone. Michael replayed the sound several times, and that's when he noticed something terrifying. The microphone had been placed outside his cabin, but the breathing sound was so loud it could only mean one thing. Whatever made that sound was standing right next to the microphone. That same day, Michael decided to check the area around the cabin. He walked slowly through the forest, following the direction where the microphone had been placed. At first, he didn't see anything unusual. But then, he found something strange on the ground. Large marks in the dirt. They looked almost like footprints, but they were far too big to belong to any animal in the region. Michael measured one of them, nearly 18 inches long. He wrote in his notebook that he felt like he was being watched. But the forest around him was completely silent. No birds, no wind, nothing. That night, Michael decided to leave his recording equipment running again. What happened next is the reason Michael Turner's story became famous online. Because the recording from that night was eventually found, and investigators listened to it carefully. For the first few minutes, everything sounded normal. Then, footsteps, slow, heavy, coming closer, closer, and closer. Then Michael's voice could be heard. He sounded confused, then nervous. He whispered something into the recorder. "Hello?" The footsteps stopped. For several seconds, there was silence. Then something unexpected happened. Another sound appeared in the recording. A voice, but it wasn't Michael's voice. It sounded distorted, almost human, but not quite. And it said only 2 words. "Found you." After that moment, the recording suddenly cuts off. When authorities later arrived at the cabin, Michael Turner was gone. His equipment was still there. His truck was still parked outside. But Michael himself had completely vanished. No signs of struggle. No tracks leading away from the cabin. Nothing. To this day, the last recording of Michael Turner remains unexplained, and investigators still don't know what or who spoke those final words. Found you.